Now let's also listen to what Andy said, because I grabbed a segment, okay? So here it is. Let's listen.
I should mention this Sandoval interview with Howie Mandel, of all people.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Why was he allowed to do that? Doesn't Bravo have him on like a PR interview, like waiting for the reunion embargo?
You know, one would think.
One would think, because like this is all stuff I want to hear at the reunion, you know?
You're going to in a different forum. And I will predicate this by saying I did a great interview with Tom at the reunion. And I'm still looking forward to you all seeing that. And hearing his perspective up against Raquel and Ariana is fascinating stuff. So there's still more to come. This Howie Mandel thing, I don't know. I found out about it last week, was annoyed on my behalf, on Bravo's behalf, on the viewers' behalf. I'm surprised he gave an interview to someone who doesn't seem to be familiar with the show or watch the show on any level.
No.
I mean, from the clips that I saw, do you think Howie watched a frame of the show?
No, as was just pointed out on the Smith Sisters Live, he said, "Who's Sheena?"
Right.
As he was reading notes.
And he's like, I don't understand why this is a big deal. But, you know, maybe that's what Tom felt he needed from an interview so that he could just be completely unchallenged. I mean, from the clips I saw, neither Tom nor Howie did themselves any favors. And, you know, just memo to Howie, Peacock has a list of the episodes that you need to see to catch up on this thing. Just watch those if you don't have time. Seems like a missed opportunity for both of them. I will kind of leave it at that. And I am excited still for y'all to see the reunion. But what a head scratcher.
You know, a little something else besides
but it
those
just
two.
But I mean, missed opportunity is the big headline to me, because
I think he
it's like,
probably
it would
did
be
it because
like-
he thought he
it would be
he probably
like
didn't
me
think-
doing the exit interview with Tom Brady when he retires. Who wants to hear that? What do I know? You know what I mean?
Well, I think he might actually do a good job with that.
Well, no, I mean, okay, me doing a Deal or No Deal reunion. You know what? If I was doing a Deal or No Deal reunion, you know what I would do?
You'd watch Deal or No Deal.
I would watch Deal or No Deal to find out what it's about. You know what I mean?
Well, I did hear that clip when he said, I
Sheena?
feel like people are being too, well, yeah, but people are being too mean to you and everything. It's like, actually, this is somebody who really...
Well, I mean, also, well, hold on. I mean, I think, listen, there's also a way to comment on the outrage.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's wild. It was wild.
I think he went on because he thought it would be, he didn't know a whole
I
lot,
think he went
you
on
know?
because he thought it was a friendly environment. Tom's drummer's wife is the producer of the podcast. So there you go. There you go.
There you go. There you go. I mean, this is the thing. I also think that Andy Cohen had to come out and say something, because did you count how many times he said, still watch the reunion? I still want to watch the reunion. We still have to watch the reunion. Because, like I said earlier, it's like, why do we even need the reunion at this point? Everything has already been said. And speaking of that, let's move into our next story, which is Sandoval, is his actual, role on the show now on the line? Could he be fired for doing this Howie Mandel interview? Now, don't forget, Jax had come out, and I know Jax Taylor, we have our feelings about him, whether we like him or not, whatever the case may be. Jax Taylor had come out and even said that Raquel's role on the show might be in jeopardy, not because of the cheating, but because of that fake TMZ interview she did at the nail salon right before the reunion, where she spilled all the tea. So if Raquel's role at the show is on the line because she spilled all the tea to TMZ right before the reunion, and she's also under contract. Then Tom Sandoval surely is on the line for doing an hour-and-a-half interview, spilling all the tea on Howie Mandel. Now you might be like, well, everybody else is talking. Sheena's doing podcasts. Lala's doing podcasts. Kristen Doty's doing podcasts. Yeah. However, when Lala and Sheena talk about it, they don't spill anything that they're more savvy. They're like, we can't really talk about that, but we can talk about this. Like, they make it very known what they can and cannot talk about, and they really toe the line. They don't go out and do these like teams and all of that stuff. Yeah, they're milking their podcast, and which they should. They're on the show. They're a part of the show. Everything's going on. They have podcasts. They have YouTube channels. You're damn right they should. I don't think I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, they're eating off of their friends' drama. They're on a reality show. Like, they should. Like, I think that they should go do 20 more podcast episodes, knock yourself out. But what they don't, if you listen to their episodes though, what they don't do is reveal things that haven't yet been on the show or that's upcoming on the show. And they're very clear about that. I think what Tom did is probably outside of that scope. But let's read the article in page 6, because this is the article that's going to go in a deeper dive into it, okay? It says Tom Sandoval's Howie Mandel interview wasn't approved, but he did it anyway. Tom Sandoval let Bravo know he was going to appear on Howie Mandel's podcast Tuesday, but they didn't give him the green light. A Bravo spokesperson tells Page 6, Sandoval did give the network a heads up that he was going on Howie's podcast. A rep for Sandoval adds, the network and the production company were fully aware of Tom doing the podcast prior, and there was a PR rep for Vanderpump Rules present for the podcast. We hear that the network did not officially approve the wannabe rock star's appearance on the podcast. Page 6 is so shady. But he moved forward with it anyway. However, this does not mean his job is on the chopping block, as was initially reported. A source close to the network tells us. There has been no conversation of him being fired for doing an unauthorized interview, the insider explains. The rest of the Vanderpump Rules cast has been doing plenty of non-approved interviews, so that would mean the whole cast would be fired. Andy Cohen also said on his radio show Wednesday that he learned of the interview last week and was annoyed by the appearance. On Tuesday's episode of the Howie Mandel Does Stuff podcast, the Vanderpump Rules star left no stone unturned as he divulged details of his months-long affair with Raquel. The Sun US reported Tuesday that the network execs were, quote, scrambling when they found out about the interview. The outlet's sources claim that producers did not see the interview before it aired and watched it in shock along with the fans. Side note, do we believe this insider? Because remember, they're saying that this is what an insider is saying. We don't know if this is true or not regarding how, like, in the clip we watched with Andy Cohen, he said that he was pissed. And he was also, and Bravo was pissed on the behalf and all of that stuff. Now, this insider is now talking out of both sides of their face. First, the insider said there was a Vanderpump Rules representative present at the interview. Now they're saying that the producers did not see the episode before it aired and they watched it in shock along with the fans. I get it. It's a representative they're claiming from Vanderpump Rules was there. But if that's the case, then how come the producers and nobody knew what he was going to say? Because if I'm the representative, I'm pretty sure it's my job to go and report back. Also, the insider is saying that Bravo did not approve of it. They did not approve of the interview, but he went and did it anyway. Well, if the network did not approve of the interview, then why was there allegedly a Vanderpump Rules representative there? I was under the understanding that a representative or a PR person only accompanies the talent on approved interviews. If they're not approving it, then why are they paying for somebody to be there with him? So that also doesn't make sense. Because remember, when we get these articles, when we get these blind items, when there's these quote inside sources, you always have to read it and then think, does this actually make sense? I don't know. If I'm Bravo and I say, do not do this interview, it's not approved, I'm not then spending money to have somebody chaperone you and oversee an interview that's not approved. And if I do spend the money to have a Vanderpump Rules PR rep there with you, they're sure as hell are going to come back and report back everything to production and to us. We're not going to be in shock watching it like fans. So I don't know what the truth is here. Just because this quote insider says this does not mean it's the truth. Does not mean his job is not on the line. Again, I think that Tom Sandoval is doing the absolute most right now because he's preparing for life after Bravo. If for whatever reason he doesn't come back next season, he's trying to make sure that his reputation is not so ruined that people outside of the Bravo world will be able to hire him and he can work and get the deals and all of that stuff. That's why I think he was like, I don't care what you say, Bravo, that I can't do this interview. I'm going to go tap into Howie Mandel's, audience, who isn't even really the Bravo audience, because I need to make sure that I can survive after Bravo, if this is the end of the road for me. I'm not saying that's true either. I'm just, thinking out loud about what a motivation would be, what an angle would be, what a strategy would be. Because I think that Bravo probably will ask everybody back for season 11. They may not like the fact that he did the interview. They may not like the fact that people are talking to TMZ, but I don't think that they're going to let that, stop the clicks and the views and the money, because the ratings are there clearly. And this is just the story that keeps on giving. But again, you always have to think, does what this quote inside source say actually make sense? And to me, it's not, the math isn't mathing. I'm not going to be a network that tells you not to do something and then pay for somebody to chaperone you and then have that person I paid not come back and tell me everything and I'm just watching like a fan. That doesn't make sense to me. But let's keep going. During his appearance on Mandell's podcast, Sandoval dropped a slew of bombshell revelations about the affair, including details on his, quote, magnetic first kiss with Raquel. Ugh, was it the booze? Was it the drugs you guys were on? He even claimed that he broke up with Ariana 2 weeks before Sandoval rocked the world. I had already broken up with her 2 weeks earlier, and I told her, I said, listen, we don't have to post anything on social media. Like, let's talk through this, he alleged. Right, because he wanted that mixology brand deal that he said was on hold. And he said, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like he was even trying to protect Ariana or to like help Ariana. He basically was like, we had this mixology brand deal on hold and I didn't want to fumble the bag. So yeah, I'll pretend I'm still into you until we get the money. Ridiculous. But again, I don't think he really broke up with her. I think she thought that they were still in a relationship. Sandoval claimed that they kept the slip between them so they could figure out a way to navigate this that helps out both of us and make it easier. But he asserted that Maddox 37 was in, quote, denial. Was she in denial or were you gaslighting her? Because if you're like, Candy, I want to break up with you, but don't tell anybody. Are we broken up then? Do you know what I mean? Like, what? Still come to my show. Still kiss me in front of the cameras. Let's still do this brand deal, but we're broken up, but don't tell anybody. Well, are we broke? Is that denial or is that being gaslit? Doesn't make any sense, Tom. Doesn't make any sense. Sandoval also said Maddox turned a, quote, blind eye to his budding romance with Raquel. She had heard things and seen things about Raquel, but was very much turning a blind eye or just trusting me, I guess, he told Howie. The scandal-scarred Bravo celebrity also revealed that he and Raquel are taking a step back from their sexual relationship for the time being. Yeah, because he realized she's like, fatal attraction over there. We're not putting any label on it, he said. We're just kind of taking a break. Right, because he doesn't want to be with you, Raquel. The whole thing about him being in love, no, it was lust. He used you, and you used him. The only difference is you actually drank the Kool-Aid. But let's get back to this sick thing he said. Did you guys catch how sick this is? He said she had heard things and seen things about Raquel, but was very much turning a blind eye, or, this is the sick part, just trusting me, I guess. How sick is that? So the fact that your girlfriend trusted you, you are now trying to throw that in her face, saying she was turning a blind eye, saying that she was in denial, that she heard and saw things, but that she was just trusting me, I guess. So the fact that she trusted you says a couple of things. Number one, it says you were still in a relationship. And this whole thing about you saying you broke up with her, you tried to break up with her, is a lie. Because if you broke up with her, why was she still trusting you? Why would you even say that? Now, do I think she heard things? Yes. Do I think she saw things? Yes. Do I think she was in denial? Yes. Do I think that he broke up with her? No. I think he did exactly what he said. He forced her out of the relationship. Not, I broke up with her. Because people always tell on themselves. Always. And isn't that what he said? Ariana allegedly told him, you're going to have to force me out of this relationship? No, boo-boo. That's what you thought in your mind. And then that's what you projected onto her. And then that's what you did. Saying that she trusted you, saying that she thought that you guys were going to spend the rest of your lives together. That doesn't sound like someone who is broken up with. She's fighting for it in therapy. That sounds like someone who knows that her relationship is in trouble and she's trying to save it, not someone who has been broken up with. But everything you've done sounds like somebody who is too much of a coward to just simply say, I'm over this. Let's figure out how to, divvy up everything and heal and move on. It sounds like somebody who is forcing somebody else out of the relationship that they're too much of a coward themselves to leave. That's what that sounds like to me. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below, like, share, and subscribe and join the newsletter. But before you do that, let's move on to our last story of the day, which is Miss Lala Kent coming out swinging with the